All right, so let's check out what happened on Tuesday. First quarter, Mavs up 4. Doncic tries past Paul George, throws it down on Marcus Morris. All 9 of his first quarter points came when Paul George was his primary defender, and not a good sign for the Clippers when Doncic is going off like that on George. Later in the first quarter, Kawhi Leonard for 3. And then Leonard, floater and the foul. Leonard, 18 points in the first quarter, playoff career high for any quarter. The Mavericks up 35-33 after 1. Midway through the second quarter, Clippers trailing 53-51. Paul George crossing up Kristaps Porzingis. That got everybody going on social media. Got Patrick Patterson going, just, oh my God. The Clippers bench couldn't believe it. A little In-N-Out burger for Porzingis from Paul George. George was 17 points at halftime. All right, under 2:30 to go in the second quarter. Mavs by 2. Doncic for 3. And the Mavs up by 5. 37 seconds left in the first half, tied at 68. Leonard with the answer. Finishes with 30 first-half points. First Clippers player with 30 points in a playoff half over the last 25 postseasons. But ensuing possession for the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. for 3. Clippers up 73-71. Very high-scoring first half. Third time in NBA postseason history. Both teams reached 70 points by halftime. Let's go third quarter. Mavericks by 4. Doncic gets Leonard to go under the screen. That creates room for the 3. The Mavericks up by 7. Dallas doing it from three-point range, big in this game once again. Then Doncic backing down Leonard, fading away, knocking it down. That's a great on-the-ball defender, but Doncic able to shoot over him. Under 40 seconds to go. Doncic looking for the 2-for-1. Off balance, but on target with a three-pointer. The Mavericks bench can't believe it. Doncic putting on a show. 35 points through 3 quarters.
Mavericks up 101 with 5 minutes left. Just wondered what you saw down the stretch, especially on the defensive end that helped you
into the fourth. Morris knocking down the 3. Clippers back within 5. Doncic, aggressive, lays it in over Patrick Beverley. Mavericks looking to pull away. 2 minutes to go. Mavs up 7. Porzingis, defensive breakdown for the Clippers, and he winds up with a dunk. Later, just over a minute left, the Mavericks up 4. Hardaway, long-range 3, knocks it down to put Dallas up 7 with under a minute left. And the Mavericks hold on to win it by 6, 127-121. So Luka Doncic averages the 6th most points per game through 8 playoff games by any player in NBA history. The only guys in front of him are Hall of Famers and LeBron James. All right, so Vince, the Clippers have a serious problem here, and his name is Luka Doncic, and they don't seem to have an answer. They got 2 great defenders in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but it doesn't seem to matter right now.
They have great defenders. They have very good defenders, and he's seen them all and scored on them all. And right now, what is helping them is the other players. Hardaway Jr. shooting threes. Porzingis. I mean, his supporting cast is making the game easier for him because you can't double when they are hitting shots as well. So you have to make a decision. Are you just going to double them and let other guys have big games, or are you just going to let everyone have a big game? And when you do that, you cannot beat the Dallas Mavericks.
Meanwhile, for the Clippers, I mean, Kawhi Leonard was fantastic in this game, but just some of the other guys around Leonard and Paul George, what do they have to do?
They need some scoring. I mean, of course, you get a big game from Paul George and a big game from Kawhi, but who else? Somebody's going to have to step up and give you something, and then that's when they have a chance. But right now, they did not take care of home. Now you're going to Dallas, up, down to 0-2. You're going to need somebody to step up other than your big stars.
Down 2 at home.
Yes.
Tough to come back from that. I mean, do you see a path for the Clippers?
Of winning?
Yeah, winning the series now.
It's tough now. It's tough. When you can't win at home, I mean, you obviously you want some roadkill. That's always what you talk about. Just get one. They just I mean, game 3 is important to them. You have to get one, or it could be a sweep.
All right, we got another game to talk about from the East. We got the Celtics and the Nets. Brooklyn on cruise. Left Anthony Davis vowing to play better after he managed just 13 points in the series. LeBron James, Chris Paul banged up in that game 1, both on the floor on Tuesday. Less than a minute into the game, Anthony Davis isolated with Jay Crowder Oh, and on the follow-through, Davis catches Crowder in the man area. Give you another look at it. Crowder never wants to see this again. Davis called for a flagrant one a minute into the game. Later in the first quarter, tied at 10. LeBron James knocks it away. Lakers off and running. Davis, James, big finish. James with 23 on 9 of 16 shooting. Never trailed 2-0 in a first-round series, and not trying to do it in this one. He had 10 points in the first quarter. Lakers up 6 after 1. Chris Paul icing his shoulder. That was his concern on the bench. Early third quarter, Davis, double team. Kicks it out to James for 3. James 4 for 9 from 3. Lakers up 56-47. A minute later, DeAndre Ayton steps out to double team James. James back inside to Andre Drummond for the basket. 15 and 12 for Drummond. Lakers start the third quarter an 8-0 run. Then James working on Cameron Johnson, putting his team up 10, ensuing possession. Johnson, three-pointer to beat the buzzer, and the Suns cut it to a 7-point game heading into the fourth. 4 minutes to play. Chris Paul on the bench played just 23 minutes in this game. Suns down 3. Payne. He had 19 points off the bench, running point while Paul was out. Suns down just 93-92. But under 3 minutes to go. James over Johnson again. Stretches the lead to 3. Just over 2 minutes to play. Davis promised a big game, delivered a big game. 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Under a minute to play. Lakers up 6. James sizing up a 3 and knocking it down. That was a dagger. 23 points, 9 assists for James. Lakers win it 109-102, even the series at a game apiece. Dennis Schroeder with 24 points for the Lakers, as Chris Paul could only watch as LA takes game 2 to even up the series.
I know my performance, whatever day that was, I'm so out of it right now, was terrible, right? In order for us to win a series, to win games, I can't have that performance. So I put it on myself, you know, as all leaders do. And I want to make sure that I made a statement this game, come out with more energy, more effort on both ends of the floor. Just trusting my work, getting back in the gym, seeing the ball go through the net, and it paid off tonight.
All right, so the Lakers rebound from that Game 1 loss to take Game 2, and it helps when your 2 stars are top 5 in NBA history for most points per game following a playoff loss. The only players to average more after a loss are Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, and Jerry West. As promised, Vince Carter here with us to break down all the Tuesday night's NBA action. So, Vince, what was the biggest adjustment that you saw for the Lakers that helped them get past Phoenix in this game?
The biggest adjustment was Anthony Davis. He put it on himself that he needed to step up and play. He stepped up and played. He was aggressive early and often. And then he had his buddy, LeBron James, aggressive. And when the two of them are aggressive, you get Schroeder, 24 points. You get Drummond, 15 points, 12 rebounds. It opened the floor up for everyone, and that was important. And they did it from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
The Lakers with a response that they had to have to avoid going down 0-2 in this game. Meanwhile, for Phoenix, Chris Paul has been a transformative player for Monty Williams' squad. It looks like this is going to be a lingering problem with that shoulder. How do they adjust without him?
I mean, 70 games that he played for them, and he was the head of the snake, and they got it done. Right now, it's going to be tough to get scoring from the team because when Devin Booker is going, they're going to need somebody else, and it's usually Chris Paul who steps up and hits big shots late. So now you have to find it from other guys. Ayton, Payne, Crowder. Somebody's going to have a big series for them to have a chance and win this series.
This is a big spot for Payne. I mean, he delivered 19 points in this game off the bench, but over the course of a series, do you feel confident that he can hold down that spot?
It's just tough. It's tough. I mean, it's a different position, and you want guys to have special nights, but special series, that's what Chris Paul is known for, and I just don't think they can recover without Chris Paul.
All right. Meanwhile, here in Los Angeles, LA's other team